As she approached the house, Tari paused, staring at the faint light coming from the window. She didn't know how much longer she could endure this life, but for now, she had no choice. With a deep breath, she opened the door and stepped inside, the cold floor greeting her like an old enemy. And so, Tari lay down once again, her body sore, her heart heavy, but her stomach finally full. As sleep began to claim her, her mind wandered to her parents, to the love and warmth she once knew. Would she ever feel that way again? She didn't know, but for now, all she could do was survive. The next morning, Tari woke up to the familiar sound of her stepmother shouting her name. Her body ached from the beating she received the night before, but she forced herself to get up. She knew better than to keep her waiting. "Tari, you better come out here now, lazy girl," her stepmother yelled. Tari staggered in, rubbing her tired eyes. Her stepmother stood there with a tray of fish, her face stern and impatient. "Take this and go sell them, and don't you dare come back without selling everything," she barked, placing the tray into Tari's small hands. "If you think last night's beating was bad, try me today." "Yes, stepmother," Tari whispered, her voice barely audible. She adjusted the tray on her head and walked out into the morning sun. Fish for sale, fresh ones, but the villagers passed her by without a second glance. She tried harder, raising her voice, but it still didn't help. The day dragged on, and not a single fish was sold. By midday, the sun was high in the sky, beating down mercilessly. Tari's throat was dry, and her stomach growled in hunger. Her feet felt heavy, and her legs trembled with exhaustion. She found a shady spot under a tree and set the tray down, tears welling up in her eyes. "What am I going to do?" she whispered to herself. She knew her stepmother wouldn't listen to excuses. She would beat her again, maybe even harder this time. As the fear of going home without selling the fish consumed her, Tari thought of her mother. She needed her warmth, and so Tari picked up the tray and started walking toward the cemetery. She didn't know why, but being near her mother's grave always gave her a small sense of comfort, as if her mother was still watching over her. When Tari reached her mother's grave, she knelt down and placed the tray beside her. The sight of the unmarked mound of earth brought fresh tears to her eyes. "Mama," she whispered, her voice trembling, "I tried, but no one bought any fish today. My stepmother is going to beat me again. I don't know what to do." Her small body shook as she sobbed, her hands clutching the dry earth. "I miss you so much, Mama. Why did you and Papa leave me? I don't have anyone anymore. I don't want to stay with my stepmother. She doesn't love me. She hurts me." Tari lay down on the ground, curling up beside the grave. The cool earth felt soothing against her burning skin. As she closed her eyes, she whispered, "Mama, please help me. I'm so tired. I just want to be with you." The exhaustion from the day overwhelmed her, and she soon drifted off to sleep. The world around her faded as she dreamed of better times, of her mother's laughter and her father's strong arms lifting her high into the air. In her dream, they were all together again, happy and safe. But when Tari woke up, the warmth of her dream was replaced by the harsh reality of the graveyard. The sun had dipped lower in the sky. She sat up slowly, rubbing her eyes, and turned to pick up her tray. What she saw made her freeze. The fish were gone. Her heart raced as she stared at the empty tray. "No, no, no," she whispered, panic rising in her chest. "Where are they? Where did they go?" She looked around, but there was no sign of the fish anywhere. Then something else caught her eye, a small bundle of crumpled naira notes sitting neatly in the tray. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. She counted the money and realized it was the exact amount she would have made if she had sold all the fish. Tari's mind raced. Who could have done this? Who would take the fish but leave the money? The graveyard was silent, the only sound the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. She looked around, but there was no one in sight. The air felt strange, almost heavy, as if something beyond her understanding had just happened. She turned back to her mother's grave, her heart pounding. "Mama," she whispered, her voice shaking, "Was this you?" A chill ran down her spine. Tears of gratitude and confusion filled her eyes as she clutched the notes, feeling a spark of hope. She whispered again, "Mama, was this you?" her small voice trembling in the quiet. The leaves moved softly, like an answer, but no voice came. Tari held the money tight, her heart beating fast, a mix of fear and wonder. Tari returned home, trembling as she handed the money to her stepmother. "You're late again," her stepmother snapped, but she counted the money and muttered, "At least you didn't come back empty-handed." Tari cleaned the kitchen as ordered, her mind replaying the miracle at the graveyard. That night, her stepmother denied her food again, shouting, "You don't deserve to eat, useless girl." Tari lay on the cold floor, her stomach aching with hunger. She thought of the graveyard, the money, and her mama's love. Maybe she wasn't alone. That night, she whispered to Mama Esther after eating, her voice small. "Mama Esther, at the grave, my fish were gone, and money was there." Mama Esther's eyes shone with faith. "Your mama's spirit is with you, Tari, or maybe God's hand. Don't be afraid." Tari's heart felt a little lighter, Mama Esther's words like a warm blanket. Tari went to the stream, feeling very hungry. She staggered as she arrived. She placed her tray by the side and took out her hook, but then she saw something shocking. Her tray was filled with the previous day's fish, and there were 2 bowls beside it. She opened the first bowl, which contained jollof rice and fried fish. Happily, she started eating, too hungry to feel scared. She couldn't finish the food, the more she ate, the more it seemed to multiply. She opened the second bowl, revealing yam, oil, and fish. Tari took her tray to the market happily. To her surprise, everyone wanted the fish, the same fish nobody had looked at the previous day. She sold everything and hurried back to the stream. On her way, she stopped by her mother's grave, where she talked and talked until she fell asleep. She woke to a resounding slap on her face. Tari opened her eyes, tears dripping, and asked, "What did I do?" "You are very stupid," her stepmother said. "I asked you to go and sell, and this is what you do. Where is my fish?" Tari stretched out the money. "I have sold everything." Her stepmother counted it and said, "So, after selling off the fish this morning, you made customers come to my house to ask for more fish, and you're here sleeping instead of catching more fish at the river? You lazy girl." She tried to slap Tari again but suddenly froze. Tari, shocked, tried touching her stepmother, but she could not move. Her stepmother stood there, helpless. Tari went to the village to call people, and they came and took her stepmother away. People kept wondering what she had seen. The village elders came together and decided that their neighbor, Mama Esther, would become the children's guardian. Tari returned to school, and her stepsisters learned to do chores and joined her in selling to make more money. To this day, nobody knows what Tari's stepmother saw that made her freeze until the day she died. Tari's heart was full of joy, but a small fear stayed. What did Bose see? Tari knelt by her mama's grave every evening, the wind soft, like Yemi's love. The river sparkled, its secrets deep, and Tari knew her mama was near, watching her grow. So what do you think Tari's stepmother saw that made her freeze? Tell me in the comments, and do you think this story deserves a part 2? Like, share, and let's keep Tari's story alive.